There are many ways to describe Brad Freeman.
Great personality, very low-key, very humble.
He was known as a great guy, still known as a great
guy that is an amazing friend, an amazing parent.
He's the kind of guy that you would want your daughter to marry.
He's not just the whole 9 yards. He's the whole 100 yards, as this Sunday he'll add a new description: official at the NFL Super Bowl.
I didn't look at the games to see who was playing. I looked to see which games he was reffing.
We'll be looking for Brad Freeman and Taylor Swift in that order.
Freeman was that kid who excelled on the field.
Brad was that Mr. Everything in sports.
Everybody kept talking about this 8th grader.
He was a 5-year starter at shortstop for Oxford, and soon after became the Chargers quarterback.
Brad could have been one of those just better than everybody else kind of person. Brad was not like that.
I remember one time he gave Chad a signal. Somebody asked me, they said, "What are we running?" I said, "Heck if I know." They ran an X out and scored a touchdown, so it was all right.
He was so good that he was selected in the MLB draft 3 different times, out of high school and twice out of Mississippi State.
I thought he really had a chance to be a big leaguer, but some things just don't happen.
But some things do, and former MSU baseball head coach Ron Polk says he sees the connection between Brad Freeman, the student athlete, and Brad Freeman, the official.
A very good common sense guy, keeps his cool. I don't think he gets too high or too low. He's a back judge, so he doesn't have a lot of calls, but it seems like, the calls he makes can affect the ball game.
But before all that, he was already showing interest in sports beyond playing in the game. Before he played varsity football, he worked in the press box as a spotter to help keep team stats.
They would have to sit on my right side, and whenever something good would happen, I'd elbow them.
Sarah Lacey still keeps Oxford's stats today. A 40-year tenured biology and anatomy teacher, she says Freeman was sharp in the classroom too.
Knowing his integrity, he's going to call the best game and call it correctly. That's the way he was raised.
He was raised by the Oxford community.
Oxford is a place that is really special because of the people. And I think that we support each other. It's a place that really encourages people to think big and go after it.
And encouraged by his father. Steve Freeman played 13 years in the NFL and also was an official in the Super Bowl.
People don't really understand how much studying they do on rules, and they have tests, and they have to take a test every year, and it ain't no community test.
Former Oxford football head coach Johnny Hill is also father to an NFL official.
They got to know this stuff, and they got to get it right.
When Freeman's not on the professional field, he manages M-Trade Park in Oxford. The city says nearly 3,000 residents use the sport facility weekly, and it hosts youth sports tournaments 42 weeks out of the year.
Brad's vision and supervision has, it's really changed our community. People talk about Ole Miss sports and college sports, really driving the economy, but it pales in comparison.
He's a man succeeding nationally, focused on giving back locally.
If I got to pick someone to go be our representative somewhere, Brad Freeman would be at the top of my list.
Reporting in Oxford,
Brad Freeman would be a great role model for anybody.
I'm David Edelstein.